Wow, I promised this a while ago if you guys used my amino. And you did. Thank you. Anyway, eBay. It's like a big online garage sale. My mom uses it religiously, and she made it her job to sell things on there to the extent that we have a whole room and then some dedicated to storage space for her, where she buys things, sells them, and makes bank. She tells me all the time about how she has some buyers who try to scam her by blatantly lying about the quality of the product and trying to get their money back without returning the item. Like saying, the seal on this was broken when I received it. When it was very much so sent intact, and we know for a fact. But then they turn around and say, I want a refund, but I can't return it because I already threw it out. This scamming thing? Yeah, it goes both ways. Plenty of sellers out there looking to pawn off things for a profit that aren't what you expected. You know, kind of like any online clothing store ever. So I really wanted a Cintiq. A Cintiq being the animation industry standard tablet screens that you draw directly on. But these bad boys are damn expensive. I always told myself, I'll buy one when I have X amount in my savings. But I never quite reached that point because of life stuff. I ended up justifying the purchase early as the Cintiq would be for work, as my work was living independently as a freelance animator. Up until this point, I was glued to my desk in my apartment all day, and it was absolutely killing me. I'm a very extroverted person with crazy ADHD, so being stationary, alone, in my apartment all day was awful for my mental state and my concentration. I needed something where I could get a fresh environment to work in every now and then. Or, you know, just be lazy and animate on the damn couch. That sounds like a laptop, Ray. Fuck that! Go hard or go home! We don't half-ass anything round these parts. After some research, I decided I would get a Cintiq Companion 2 because it was portable. My ingenious ass thought, to save a little bit of money, that I would get one secondhand. Learn from my mistakes. I've made so many mistakes. I ran off to eBay and got to searching, and I found what I thought was exactly what I was looking for. Secondhand Cintiq Companion 2 that came with 2 chargers and said that it had note, no prior issues. This is important. And it was for only $800. $800 for a Cintiq Companion 2 was about a $1,200 discount. It's a damn good deal. Hell fucking yeah, smash that order button, waited by the door like a puppy for my brand new baby to arrive, and when she did, I fell in love for the first time. Her name was Cinder, and Cinder was super glued to my hand, and I took her everywhere. Outside the apartment, to my friends' houses, to the damn couch, to class for like the 0.03 seconds that I was in art school before I dropped out.
I loved her! I fucking loved her! That's my best friend!
And then the dreaded the charger busted. I had war flashbacks to the ghosts of all those phone chargers that you get that stop working if you treat them even slightly wrong. So I grabbed the spare one that came with it and still nothing. Alright, so I'll just buy a third new charger, right? Well, not exactly. Instead of just not receiving any power from the cord and therefore not reacting to it, I would get a notification of plugged in, not charging. Which doesn't sound good. So I looked it up, and apparently this was a huge issue when the Cintiq Companion 2 first came out. You see, the charging port was ever so slightly bigger than the actual charger, so when it was in there, it would jiggle around a little bit and fuck everything up and die. So the issue is not within the charger, but in the port itself. So theoretically, buying a new charger does nothing. Not good. I tried to contact the guy who I bought it from and said, hi, it's not working, help? Keep in mind, I hadn't had her for very long. This was like less than 2 weeks after receiving her, and I treated her like gold. From all my research, as far as I can tell, the issue had nothing to do with anything that I had done, and it was just a faulty product. When the seller responded, he said, oh, thought I fixed that. Here, just call their service number. They can take care of it. Fixed that. I thought you told me it had no prior problems. But whatever. Fine. I called the line, and I explained myself again. They asked if I had a warranty, and I told them, oh, no, I bought it secondhand. They said, okay, that's fine. Then the price to fix it is just $2,000. What? $2,000! The price of a brand new shiny Cintiq companion to get this prior issue of a faulty port that I had no control over fixed. So of course, I go back to the seller and I ask him, hey dude, they want to charge me $2,000 to get it fixed. Do you have a warranty? He's like, oh no, I had this thing for ages. That expired ages ago. Fuck! Back in the day, I was a bit of a pushover. I still kinda am. I don't even like asking to have my order fixed at restaurants when they come out wrong because I don't want to inconvenience the staff. So when this dude told me, out of luck, I thought I was just $800 in the hole and up shit creek without a paddle. Thankfully, at about the exact same time, I was visiting home for Christmas, and my dad is like the smartest guy I know. So I came crawling into his office with my Cintiq and my tale of woe, begging for him to fix it with his technological prowess. Is that a real word? Did I use that right? He took a look at it and just about came to the same conclusion that there was nothing that could be done about it without actually replacing the port, and there was nothing I could have done about it. So both my parents were very adamant that I, in fact, needed to email back and tell the seller that I needed a refund, seeing as I was well within my return date and the issue was not caused by me, and he had blatantly lied in the description about the status of the product. I hate confrontation. I won't not do it. I'm an adult. I'll confront whatever needs confronting. Snip, snip, motherfucker. But God, if it doesn't get my anxiety going. The doctor told me that I panic just a lot faster than most people, so while I will stand my ground, the whole time I'm so freaked out that I'm shaking and I'm getting myself sick. And this is before I was a bit better at controlling it. So after I very nicely explained that I was so sorry but I needed a refund, I waited for him to respond and just handed my phone to my mom so that she could read what he had to say about it. Because I was going to pass out if I had to do it. Figured I could just gauge from their reactions if it went good or bad. It went bad. It went so badly that my dad just went right to replying for me. Context, my dad is the scariest, most intimidating person I know. More context, he's a great guy. He's not actually all that scary. He's a hardened military veteran who scowls a lot and mutters and lone wolfs it all mysterious-like, which makes his few appearances all the more imposing. But he's actually just a big dork who thinks that babies are adorable and gets invested in video games. Strangers wouldn't know that, though. We had the high ground. Given this information, I'll need y'all to use your imaginations because, unfortunately, I don't have an education high enough to recreate what my dad said, but in a very calm, civil message that embodies all the horrifying energy that is my father at a glance. He reiterated that, I'm sorry to see you disagree, but we are returning the product regardless because of the dishonest pretenses in which it was sold under. See, that's the best I can do. It's not even right. Just pretend it's scary, okay, guys? Just pretend! At this point, the guy clearly knew the gig was up. Confronting him was scary, but I just had to remember that he'd already gotten his money's worth out of the product since he had kept it past its warranty, and he was just trying to scam some of his money back in return. He wasn't ready to admit his guilt, though. Instead of either accepting it and saying, alright, I understand, let's reverse the transaction, or bumping up the argument of, I believe I shouldn't have to refund you because of this lame excuse, he went straight to threats. The last resort. He said, you are not good people. I caution you against this. This is your last chance to accept the damage you caused. And keep the product, or I will have no choice but to take further action. I will be contacting my local police to open a lawsuit against you, and furthermore, this will ruin your life with bad karma. Bad karma! Bad karma! Holy fuck! I'll take my fucking chances, buddy boy. Here's your busted ass tablet. Dad helped me buy a new one with my very own warranty. Go fuck yourself, bad karma! Don't buy shit online, y'all. They'll sue. Wow, hey, okay, thanks for listening. I don't know if this is any good or not, but if you liked it and you want to hear another one, if we can get my amino to like 750 daily active members on the daily, I'll do one. Maybe on like my art school experience before I dropped out or something. I also worked at McDonald's for a bit before, and I have a lot of stories about customers breaking into fights, or one guy that just kind of stalked me. That was fun. I don't know. You should go over there. Check it out. On the Amino is where I post all of my work in progresses for all of my stories and animations and comics. And I hold contests sometimes. Maybe that sounds appealing. Maybe it doesn't. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.